Alright, you're back. Screaming Demons RC, SDRC. We're in the shop tonight. We've got the Typhon, the Arrma Typhon here. We've got a few new parts for it. I've got the Integy billet machined upper center spur gear cover for the Arrma 1/8 Creighton 6S. It also fits the Typhon and a couple of the other 6S versions. I believe it fits all the 6S versions. I just got that in the other day, and I just got this like 2 days ago, I think. It's Team GPM Racing Products. This is the center diff. What do they call it here? They even call it what they got. The center diff mount. So it's the bearing carrier for the center diff mount. I found this from GPM. It was pretty cheap, good deal. I got it out of China. It was sent. Took about a week and a half to get here. This I got straight from Integy. It took about 9 days to get here. And then I thought I'd throw in a couple of new bearings in the center diff because I had a bit of wobble in there on the front output shaft. And I thought I'd throw a couple new SD stickers on there onto the wing. So we'll do all that tonight. So here I'll pop the body off and then we'll get started. So anybody that's already been watching me get this build going and progress here has probably seen these mounts on our Facebook group, SDRC, SDMC Custom Crew. I put a few pictures of the mounts I did here, the braces actually. I found these in some parts I had collected, Red Cat Racing. I believe these were steering links off of, I'm not sure what vehicle, but it was probably a 1/8 monster truck or a big truggy or something like that. And there was also some braces that came. I had some braces in there, so I fixed them up, fabricated them to fit into this. I think they're going to work really good. But to complete this, to make it so it was really solid, I wanted to get this upper, this piece here, the diff, the upper plate here. You can see it's right here. You hear this black piece. And as I would flex the vehicle, I would grab the back of the vehicle and the front of the vehicle, and I would try and do the flex on it and see where it was bending or anything like that. And the only amount of flex I was getting out was in that plastic piece right there, which was actually it was flexing right across this part of the plastic. So I figured I'll replace it with aluminum, get rid of that flex. And at the same time, when I was in there, there's also, it's hard to see, my light isn't that good right now, but you can see right, let's see, oh, okay, there we go, better angle. Okay, that piece of plastic right there is the piece I'll be replacing with this piece right here. And so what that does is it keeps your bearing cooler, it keeps everything running truer, because plastic, as everyone knows, it gets hot, it flexes, it distorts its shape. And basically, if you want to keep a good solid vehicle running nice and tight and all consistent feeling, you're going to want to replace all the plastic in those components anyway with aluminum. Anything that's got a bearing in it or is under a lot of load and stress like that is always good to do with aluminum. So I'm going to get these packages open and show you what the parts look like. As always, I like to give the part numbers for the pieces I'm putting on. So for the Integy upper center spur gear cover, that was C28680 red, because it's a red piece of aluminum. And the other part made by GPM is, let's see, I guess that would, which one, let's see. They've got a couple of part numbers here. Yeah, okay, we're going to go with the SKU number is STK0176005534. Hopefully you got that, and I believe that was the number that you would need if you were going to order it. So look up that if you want to get that part. And like I said, it was a pretty cheap part, not cheap, but like a pretty good cost. So I was willing to take the gamble on it and see if it was worth it. It looks like it's really nicely made, so I think it should hold up. Anyway, we're going to get right into this. I will give you the weights of the aluminum versus the plastic stock pieces that I take out of the vehicle, so just 1 second. So, we had a misfortunate incident here while I was taking out the motor mount. There's the 3 screws, 1, 2, 3. The middle one started to strip and then fully stripped. Couldn't be because I have these crappy bits still I haven't replaced. And I keep meaning to go and buy a good set of MIPs at my local shop, NRC. So I think, Matt, you're going to be seeing me come down there and pick up those bits I keep meaning to grab every time I'm in there, but I just never seem to grab. Well, that's done it. I'm back now with the old Dremel and the zippy cutter wheel there. I got to zippy cut a little flathead in there into the screw, the little flathead across. I'll add some heat with, I'll probably just use a soldering gun to put on the screw head and heat it up for a while until that Loctite loosens off, and then I'll get on there with a flathead screwdriver and get that screw out. So that's going to take me a few more minutes, and I'll get on with the video here. I just wanted to pause and let you guys know what was going on there. So I got the motor mount out. It's all loose now. Here's the screw. I just cut a flathead groove in with the Dremel there, the little zippy Dremel cutter cut off tool. And so I got that out with a flathead screwdriver. Now I got the diff out. To change the bearings, I have to obviously take the diff apart. I'll change the fluid. I didn't have any 10,000 weight that it called for. I had 5,000, 7,000, and 100,000. So I'm going to just throw some 100,000 in there. I also want to try and eliminate, I don't know if I can make it show you guys, but there's a lot of slop in the shaft that comes out of the diff. Okay, now this here is a cup off my brand new Creighton. This was never run in the vehicle at all. I changed the diff cup before I even drove the vehicle. So this is brand new. I'm going to see if it will actually go in and fit into the Typhon one, which I'm sure it will. It looks exactly the same. This one doesn't wobble at all, this piece, the output piece there, and it's really solid. So I'm going to try and change these over and get this diff all souped up with new bearings and the new bearing carrier, and I'll show you guys what it's like after. Okay, I got the diff all apart, and what the problem was, it wasn't even my bearings. The bearings were in actual relatively good shape. They're fairly new and they feel still pretty smooth. I'll probably give them a bit of a cleaning and reinstall them. But what the problem was this diff casing. Watch this. This isn't supposed to happen. That's not supposed to come out. That was totally just loose in there and just spinning around in the casing and causing all sorts of slop and wobble in there. This vehicle, this Typhon, before I purchased it, I got it from a friend of mine, and it was his friends, and they were running it on 6S. So I guess the heat of the diff heating up and just cooked this casing, the plastic, and you can feel it. It's actually like burred. It has burrs on it, and it's sharp, and I would imagine that it basically melted, and that's why this little metal bushing here let go and was just spinning in there and wobbling all around like this, making me think my bearings were shot, but they weren't. So I'm gonna install this. All I did was take there was a O-ring inside of this right there in that little spot. There was an O-ring. I took that out, installed it into my brand new Creighton casing that I hadn't even used yet. I had replaced, so it's in there. I'm going to throw all the gears in, slap some 100,000 weight in for these big back flips I'm doing with these big Badland tires on. You guys will see them on the video, so I'm going to get this back together and show you what it's all like. Quickly, before I install all this, I got the measurements for the weight of all these parts. So center diff mount, the front center diff mount, stock is 3.8 grams. The GPM aluminum, 9.3 grams. A little bit of difference, but definitely worth it. Here we go. The center spur gear cover, stock, 5.5 grams. Integy, 10.8 grams. Once again, definitely worth it. The Integy aluminum, beautiful, and it'll serve a purpose by being stronger and eliminate that flex that I was having in the vehicle. This will keep your bearing cooler, eliminate all the flex. Way better components, way better. Better than plastic. Plastic are good, aluminum is better. For those things, anyway, in my opinion. Lots of people might argue, but anyway, I'm going to get this all back together and show you guys what it's all about. Okay, here it is, all back together. We got the GPM center diff mount right there. Sorry, my camera's not picking it up the best right now. It's a beautiful little part made in silver aluminum. It's actually got some kind of a coating on it. I'm not sure if it's a paint or a powder coating, but it's really nice looking. And then we have the top diff, center diff, what is it called here? Sorry. It's called the upper center spur gear cover. That's this piece right here, made by Integy. Beautiful component, lovely red, nice red that matches all the other Arrma parts here, anodized in red, so it really fits in there nice. I'm going to go with the red, blue, and silver anodized aluminum components on this vehicle. Anyway, I'm really happy with how that turned out. I got 100,000 weight diff fluid in here. Nice brand new bearings. I decided to go with the new bearings. I had it all apart, and everything's nice and tight now. Not like before, it was all sloppy and loose. We got pretty much, I would say, right back to factory stock amount of play in there. So it's going to be good. I think everybody's going to be surprised tomorrow when I'm throwing out backflips, maybe even double backflips if I can, with that 100,000 fluid in that diff, in that center diff. It's really going to hook up and throw all those wheels around, just spinning them real good and powerful. So I'm only running on 4S tomorrow. I'm going to be getting the 6S power going probably in the next 2 weeks here. I got batteries on order, so we'll get those, and I'll be doing a test and review on those Awamfi batteries. So guys, keep your eyes open for that video. Anyway, we're going to wrap this one up. This video is a little longer than I figured it was going to be, but thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the like button and hit that bell if you want to watch all the other videos and not miss anything. Anyway, SDRC, Screaming Demons RC, out.